Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 DC comic omnibus for new readers that are still affordable as of right now. So a quick disclaimer, it is January 2021, so if these omnibus go up in price, I'm sorry, but right now they are affordable. I checked eBay, I checked in-stock trade, I checked everywhere just to make sure that I was completely okay saying this. So when I say affordable, I mean it's around $100 or less. Everyone knows the omnibus are expensive, so $100 is usually the bare minimum we're going to be paying for them. But still, there's a lot that are out there around $70, and we have a couple here that I'll talk about that are around that range. I also want to note that I didn't put these omnibus in any specific order, and these are just my recommendations and things that I noticed that are under $100 that would be very good for new readers. The first on our list is going to be The Flash by Francis Montepaula and Brian Brusaletto. So after the Flashpoint event, DC Comics did a full company reboot called The New 52. The idea of The New 52 is that new readers could come in without having any prior knowledge of the characters or events that happened beforehand and completely understand everything that's happening in the current stories. So in this omnibus, we collect basically the first 24, 25 issues of The Flash from The New 52. Everything written by Francis Montepaula is in this omnibus, including the quasi-origin story that ties into Batman Zero Year. So this story really revamps how we see the Rogues Gallery, and it introduces us to the new Reverse Flash. The story plays around with the Iris and Barry Allen relationship just a little bit, and basically everything that was old is new again because this story does it all over again in a new modern way. I'm talking Grodd, Captain Cold. We see him interact with Kid Flash, who's not Impulse really, but kinda still is. Basically just an all-around good starter book for any Flash fan. Especially if you're a fan of the CW show, because this influenced a lot of the elements of the CW show. So this Flash Omnibus retails for $99.99, but I see it usually on sale for around $70 to $60 online. So it's a great starter Omni if you're interested in the New 52 or just learning about the Flash from the ground up. My second omnibus is Batman by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. This contains one of the most iconic Batman storylines of all time, The Long Halloween, and its sequel, The Dark Victory. In these stories, Harvey Dent goes from a good guy helping Batman take on the mob to one of his biggest adversaries ever. We're also reintroduced to Robin and how he's introduced into the Batman mythos. It's a dark story that takes a lot of the Silver Age elements and blends them all together with a more modern dark Batman. The book also contains a tie-in series called Catwoman Win in Rome. It's a story about Catwoman going to Rome to try and figure out if she really has ties to the mob or not. So we get a little bit more backstory of Catwoman in this as well. Also collected is the Legends of the Dark Knight Halloween specials, which are basically just one-shots that kind of look into the psyche of Batman. Tim Sale's artwork is amazing in this, and Jeff Loeb, love him or hate him, this is probably the peak of his writing. So this one does retail for $125, but if you buy it online, it's usually always on sale for around 30% off. So look around a little bit. I'm sure you can find it for under $100. I did, and most people who buy this, I'm sure they did as well. If you want the perfect Batman book and you don't want to read any other Batman book at all, this would be the one to do it because this story right here is so self-contained. You don't have to know anything about the continuity, and it's just an amazing crime thriller. Page by page, the art is gorgeous. This is an amazing book to have. The next Omni on our list is one that's extremely popular, Batman by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. One thing the New 52 got right was Batman. Everyone could agree with that. Most people know about the story. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what's contained in it. We've got the Court of Owls storyline. We've got the Death in the Family storyline. We've got the Zero Year storyline. So this is the first half of the Scott Snyder run that everybody knows and everybody loves. It's an amazing book. It contains issues 0 through 33 and a couple of annuals. So like the Flash Omnibus, this is a New 52 story. You don't have to have any prior knowledge of Batman before this. Having a little bit of knowledge though here will help out. What Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo do is they expand the mythos of Batman by incorporating this Zero Year event and the Court of Owls. This book is definitely a book about Gotham and its relationship to Batman, and it's just a blast to read. It is one of the best, well-paced, well-written, serialized stories I have read, period. I know I sound like a fanboy right now, but a lot of you out there would agree with me on that. I'm almost positive. So here's what the interior cover looks like. A little bit of homage to the Golden Age Batman. So this is another one of those Omnis that retails for $125, but I've seen it on sale for as much as 50% off. I think I bought this copy for around $70 new. So if you are a fan of Scott Snyder's Batman and you want this omnibus, I would get it now while it's still cheap because this is one that's sure to jack up in price really quickly after it goes out of print. Next up, to Bat, no pun intended, is another Batman omnibus. Well, okay, this time it's Superman Batman omnibus. This is Superman Batman Volume 1. This has a lot of artists and writers on it like Jeff Loeb, Alan Burnett, Ed McGuinness, and Michael Turner. In the early 2000s, Superman Batman was one of the comic books that really revamped the DC comic line. Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness spearheaded the beginning of this series. The art in this book just pops. It's really colorful, really fun to look at, and the stories are really engaging because it takes a deep look at DC's history. This book is most memorable for reintroducing Supergirl into the normal continuity, not like Matrix, the Supergirl who was kind of Supergirl but was really an android from an alternate universe. I'm talking about the proper Supergirl, Kara Zor-El from Krypton. The Supergirl storyline had Michael Turner on art, who unfortunately passed away not long after the completion of this storyline. Really good artist, gone too early. Happens too often in this industry, as many of you probably know. I would say if you're a fan of the animated Batman, Superman, and Justice League series from the 90s and 2000s, you'll really enjoy this book. It's got the really fun, interdimensional style of storytelling. It's very cartoony, yet the plot really pulls you in and everything in it is connected and ongoing. Really cool read and fun to look at. So collecting this is Superman Batman 1 through 43 and Batman Superman Annual 1 and 2. This is a one-part omnibus, so I can't really call it a one and done, but I can tell you that all the stories after this omnibus really changed the direction of the storyline. It's also really unknown at this point if we're going to get a volume 2 of this omnibus series. So again, like most omnibus around this size, it retails for $125. But again, look online and you'll find it for around 30% off or even more. I got this copy for around 70 bucks on, I think, In Stock Trade when it first came out. I'm not a sponsor of In Stock Trade, so I don't want to, toot their horn too much right now. So, Superman Batman Omnibus Volume 1. Sorry for so much Batman, it's just, there's a lot of Batman out there, so, it's kind of hard to avoid. Alright, drumroll people, last on my list is Aquaman by Jeff Johns Omnibus. Again, this is the third on our list that's a New 52 series. The New 52, as much as people didn't like it, it was still a really good jumping on point for a lot of fans. So Aquaman by Jeff Johns. If you enjoyed the Aquaman movie, everything in here is fleshed out better than that movie was. The movie was fine, don't get me wrong, but this is just an epic underwater alien type story that it's mind-blowing and gorgeous. I mean, just look how eye-catching that art is. Wow. So what this story does is it kind of picks up after the events of Justice League Origin. He's kind of looked down by the public as the person who talks to fish, but in actuality, he's one of the most powerful Justice League members there are. One of the big plots of this story is the Throne of Atlantis, where Orm, his brother, takes over Atlantis and they basically drown all of Gotham City. The Justice League have to take on the Atlanteans with the help of Aquaman and Mera. So Aquaman is a member of Justice League, but he's also a member of the Others, which is an international version of the Justice League, just a little less well known. And we flesh out their character development a little bit too. This is a cool book. It feels like modern day Middle Earth mixed with a lot of science and magic. If you're a fan of Jeff Johns' Justice League, this is a great companion book and it even ties into it very closely. We've got Ivan Reyes on art. I really like what he does with water elements. It really pops. It really shows that they're dealing with ocean and aquatic life. Really cool stuff. So this contains all of Jeff Johns' run on Aquaman, which are issues 0 through 19 and then 21 through 25 plus a couple of tie-in issues. And some of the Justice League tie-ins for Throne of Atlantis. Now this one does retail for 75 bucks, so out of the market it was under 100 bucks. And with that said, you could still get it for very cheap. A lot of the times you could get it around 30% off. I got this copy for 35 bucks. For an omnibus, that's an amazing deal. So Aquaman, an amazing deal right now, but when it goes out of print, that price is going to skyrocket and maybe even double. Just to compare, this Aquaman omnibus by Jeff Johns, when it was released, was also 75 bucks. But nowadays you can't buy it for less than 200 bucks. It's the same size, and honestly the quality is even worse too. But that's just what happens with Omnibus. When they're gone, they're gone. So really, if you want this or even thinking about getting this, right now would probably be the best time to do it. Maybe I'll make a top 5 unaffordable Omnibus one day, who knows. Let me know in the comment section if you want that. So there you have it, guys, the top 5 most affordable DC comic omnibus out there as of right now. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have suggestions for anything else in addition to this, please leave it in the comment section and start that thread. Before you go, please make sure you like this video and subscribe. Share these videos with people you know who love comic books or omnibus collecting. I'd love to hear people reach out and let me know their thoughts about what I'm going over. Give me all the thoughts. Tell me everything all of you are thinking. So that's it for today. Time to jump off the omnibus.